all that time cleaning stuff up. There we are. Lubricated. Left hand coming in, dropping the weight, making the cone shape. Right finger's coming in, they drop at the bottom because I start at the bottom. I wait enough times going around until I feel a circle. If it feels like it's doing this, it's not a circle. I'm waiting until, there it is, until there's a circle. There it is. Now I'm gonna come up. The first time I come up, it feels like poorly mashed potatoes in my house. You know, it feels like cellulite all over there, and it's like kind of creaky. Just, take this down. There's a circle again. I went in a little bit. It's feeling much smoother. Go about there. Bring this here. I'm going to modify this.
What's this gonna be?
This one's also not going to have a foot.
So you were actually able to widen the face even after you made the,
Did you notice how it got wider?
you were pushing, yeah.
Yeah, just because I was pushing it, it bloats out. I like to compress here too. I don't like those sharp little edges. I like to get that. And I like that in this state, the clay is easy to push because it's so thick and chunky. And I'm compressing it and making it tighter. So later on, it's not going to be so flippy floppy. Okay, bring this in. You can get away, if it gets wider than I want it, there's a thing called collaring. I'm going to bring this in so it doesn't get out of my control. You don't want collaring. No collaring for you.
Now you got some.
You just the opposite. Notice I'm going to actually undermine this piece a little bit. See how it's getting a little narrower? I can get away with that a couple times, but once it's getting a little thinner and I do that, it will make the top go out around. It goes into it like an oval shape. It changes the particles. A big deal when you're throwing like a 20-pound piece of clay and you're making something. Like if you throw that, if you start undermining, it'll throw the whole thing off.
So you mean denting the bottom?
Yeah,
Okay.
do you see how I indented? I'm undermining, pushing in,
Yeah,
okay?
okay.
That'll probably be the last time I'll do that with this piece, because after that, it's gonna start getting, it'll make it all wobbly. But I can do that, and you'll see people do that.
And why did you do that?
I wanted it, because she noticed, and I also did, as I opened it
That it
up,
went
the whole
down
thing
wider.
got wider than I wanted it. And so, there's that. And I'm gonna go to that space. And even here, I'm waiting for that circle, I'm giving it energy, it's starting to shift, and once the shift starts, then I can ride the wave. The energy's there. And now it's just like being on that surfboard and moving. But if I hadn't caught the wave, which starts down here, it would have been hard. Yeah, you just kind of tumble on it. And so with the cylinder, this people do the undermining because they're trying to get underneath the clay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to present that there.
So you're gonna just push
You
it
see?
out instead.
Mm-hmm. And when you see people doing big pots, notice that. They're going to get this here. They're not going to go under it. They're going to push it out. So. And then we practice until we can have both hands. Because now they're independent contractors. Like this one wants to go here, that one's there. But they have to work together.
So you're pushing it out so you can get like a grip on the extra clay that's there?
so I can get up under it, so I can push it into my inside hand
Yeah.
and thin the clay.
Yeah, okay.
This is technical.
Once it gets really thin and I try to go in, then I knock it off because of my hand.
Yes.
You know, it's like I want to do something thin, but then it's, how you
You
get
get
your
ready to
hand
stop.
in there.
Do you see this?
Yeah.
Do you see this? All I need to do is iron that out. It's telling me, oh, you really went too thin, too fast, Jim. But I can iron that out and then I'll continue the stroke. But I'm always kind of keep looking, I'm looking.
I also find that the clay on the top, feels heavy, and then that throws it off too.
Is it thicker? Then you're releasing the pressure in your hands as you go up.
Are you leaving the rim a little thicker?
Yeah. Let's see. So cylinder, you can go up and up. Now I might start shaping. So what is dominant, the inside or the outside hand? Inside's pushing out. When it starts getting wide, there'll be a lot of momentum going in that direction. And I didn't want to go that direction quite so much. And so my inside hand now is lower. You see how it's bloating out below? Now it's going in a different direction. Now I'm playing. Oh, look at that weak spot.
That would be a good teacup for me.
2 pounds.
That's what
By the time it's ready.
Heavier hand, that's why you see those lines. If I want some support to make a curve, I might want to use a rib.
And you like that sharp rim for that, or because it's bending?
Yeah, because it's bendy. Look at that, nice round shape. So from the cylinder, all these other forms start to emerge.
So you're making that bulge not by collaring, but by pulling out and pushing out more as you're
Pushing
going
out.
up, and then
And
getting
and
back.
making a shape like this with the metal rib and
Right.
forcing that into it. Okay, I want to finish here because you guys need to work. Here's the piece. I got a little extra clay on the top. Again, I would spend more time with this.
Well, what would you do to the top?
I would probably, I don't know. I'd have to hang out there, work it, see where it's going. This. And do you remember at the beginning of this, I said I'm not going to have a foot on this?
Are you making a picture? or
Take a
something?
picture. And if things are slippery and stuff, I can't get a good grip. So I want to get it sticky so I can pull that sucker up a little bit.
I was wondering how you might get it thin at the spout.
Make it wagga, 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 wagga. Give it a little throat. People do all kinds of weird little things. But now you see this side's a little higher than that. So it makes it more difficult to flip it upside down to trim.
So do
Right,
you
if you
pat
make a
it on
picture.
clay?
There you go. Yeah, it's picture. But sometimes I just want to, like, I might have extra clay down here. Sometimes I do it that way.
Oh, I meant, when you trim it, you put clay underneath.
I'm trimming it right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm trimming it right now.
So with a picture, it would be hard to trim it leather hard because it doesn't have a surface to sit in?
Because this is high,
Yeah.
it would be at an angle, so I'd have to like create a form to put it down
Right.
inside of. It's doable, people do it. I just find it easier sometimes to trim it off like that.
Or can you make a spout and keep it all even?
Yeah, by trimming like that? Oh, you mean
Like when
by
you
flipping it upside down?
No, when you first make it, just try to make it so flat.
You can. Do you understand? So her question is, if you want to make a spout, can you make a spout so that there isn't a height to it? And of course, you've seen them.
I did it for a matcha.
You've seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could also make a cup, and then later on we can cut out a piece and put like a V-shaped piece of clay. You've seen those. Yeah. So then you do a little hand building onto it. So that's another. So there are all these choices. The fundamentals for most of the beginners here is the bowl. You know, the bowl is not a very technical thing. You all can, and then you keep working that. And then when we get into playing with the cylinders, that's more, it's a lot of practice trying to, align the hands and get the pressure right, blah, blah, blah. And then from the cylinders, we may modify by leaving clay and changing the shapes and doing all these stuff to them. And in this case, stretching out one side and then the handle. Let us, I'm going to do one more thing here. This is also sort of something you'll see from beginners to intermediates. There's a point where we kind of stop doing this because we're more efficient with our clay. But people will cut that curve. They will remove that material. Now it's just so, it's like it gets goopy and it's too thin. It's not hard to work with. Oh, I just put my finger mark in there. So that wasn't a mistake, but I could see, making that mistake over and over and over and over and over and turning it into a pattern.
As opposed to trying to fix it.
Because now maybe if I try to fix it, I'll ruin the piece. So maybe it's just better to wait, do other things. Sometimes the universe offers these really cool things, and we're like, oh, I know a good way to do that. And it's like, oh, you just like you missed the point of the universe going, oh, try this. Okay, I'm not going to cut this one now. This is kind of sloppy still, right? This, and I'm going to come back in 15 minutes. Touch it, because it's going to dry. Maybe come back 20 minutes later, kind of fool with it, play with it, because it's going to get stiffer, and I'll be able to get something out of it. I can't always finish right away, because just the clay doesn't have the consistency I'm looking for. So with those. And I'm not crazy about these tiles. Oh, the wood, I like the woods better. Okay, picture. 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. That was 2 pounds. That's kind of chunky. And that was 1 pound. Because you guys are always asking me those questions. Okay.